second time, right?
Hello. Welcome to the podcast. That's Dope Entertainment. My name is God's Will. We got Josh. We bringing back Delmar, and we have two special guests with us. We are with Nix and with Jeremy. They have a manga that they want to talk about. Thank you guys so much for joining the podcast. How are you guys doing today so far?
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
And blessed as always, man.
Oh, that's good to hear. It's good to hear. And then also how y'all two hosts doing. I didn't ask y'all.
Man, blessed, black, and highly favored.
Whoa.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm solid, man. I'm doing good.
Solid.
Calm down.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that you guys are all doing all right, and thank you guys so much for joining on. So, I guess can you guys, the new guests, can you guys talk about yourselves, what you guys got going on, and who you are, and what's been going on?
Ooh, sure.
So yeah, I'll take the lead. I'm Nix. My real name is Garrett, and this is my business partner Jeremy, and we are the creators of Echo Chambers Productions. And our primary flagship product right now is Echo Chamber, the American manga. And this is just, I'd say, our attempt at creating a publishing house that has authentic and real Black characters at the forefront of the creation. I know this is kind of like just a big swing, but it's like to kind of start it off, it's like I don't feel as though we've been properly represented in the space. So that's the big push. You know, we got big products like Yasuke, but the first scene in that is like, hey, you're dirty, so let's wash off the dirt off.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean? And it's like for us as the audience for that, right? It's like, bro, that's jarring as hell, dude. Right?
Are we ever
That was
going to get
historically
past
accurate.
No, it's historically accurate, sure, but it's
The
if
first
it's
thing,
for us,
right?
bro.
Yeah.
Don't throw that shit down my throat, right? Don't
That's right.
traumatize me even more than I've already been traumatized, right? I want to see that Black guy that's like, yo, I'm taking down everything, right? And of
Right.
course, there's adversity and challenges in his way, sure, right? But
100%.
I want it to be realistic and not traumatizing to the aspect where we're also being put down while being lifted up at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's counterintuitive. So
That is
that's
an
what
interesting
Echo
take.
Chamber it is.
Yeah, we're really pushing like a normal story. You know, it doesn't have to be like it's crazy to say that, but can it just
I
be
agree
some
with that.
regular shit? Like can it just be a story that starts, has some amazing elements, puts you in the feels. It's just a normal setup where it doesn't attack us or belittle us or put us down in any way. You know what I mean? So, and that's what we're really pushing. I'll use another word besides normal. I want to say, like I think we want to say, relatable.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Something
That's a good way
that
to put it.
when you pick it up and you start flipping through it, like, oh snap! I can relate to that. Like this is regular life stuff going on with this character. Okay, I would respond like that too. That's how my mom is, or this is, how I would interact with friends or go throughout this journey. So that's what we're really, really trying to push. Something relatable to the masses that look like us.
Yeah,
And
no,
being,
I really
and being
dig that.
told by Black people, not
There you go.
people who, oh, I know the culture, right?
No, you don't.
See a lot of media. What's the word when it comes to scripts? I saw it on Twitter. I can't remember what it's called, but it's just like people thinking what Black people come from instead of just just having Black people portray themselves.
Right,
I
and
think
that's
that's the
100% correct. And like you're just about to say, right? Like Yasuke, I know I'm harping on it right now, even though it's a great anime. Don't get me wrong, right? But like,
Stop lying, bro. You don't have to cap here.
Yeah, I was like, is it a great anime? It's like,
here's what I'll say: no, it's great because it made it. Right, they're in the industry. I'm not. I'm gonna just say that, right? But here's what I'll say: it's like I kind of somewhat forgot where I was gonna go, but I was like,
It's okay. It happens to me all the time.
I mean, in a way, like it, like yes, they made it. Good props to LaShawn Thomas, but at the same time, I don't know. It's like I'm not really happy with Yasuke or like his works at the moment because they aren't critically good.
Right.
Good that he made it, but it's still lacking, and we're still like waiting for like that next thing that we can really hold up there. You know, at least that's how I feel
Right.
so far.
Right.
No,
Can I
and
say
that's
something to this?
100%.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I appreciate y'all. So here's my take on Yasuke. Because I remember I was actually gonna get a Yasuke tattoo before the anime was announced. I remember I
Oh,
really
man.
liked reading the book on him. And I thought that was dope. I was like, yo, Black Samurai that literally existed, and he was actually kind of a beast.
Right.
Like he didn't die in combat. There's no record of him dying in combat. Man just went through battles, and he was like 6 something at that time.
Right.
But that actually happened. He was Nobunaga's right hand at one point, and Nobunaga's like that legendary warlord you see in all anime. Like his right hand, one of his right hand dudes was this black character, and I was like, this is sick. And the scrubbing scene did happen, right? They were like, yo, clean him up, like, and he was like, oh no, that's just how he is. And he's like, I don't believe that. Like, I've never seen a person look like that. For me personally, I was cool with all that because I thought that was just history, right? And I don't want to shy away from history. I don't want to be that person who's like, oh, you know, that happened a long time ago. I don't want to be that for the black community. So for me, it's like, this is what it was. But my issue with Yasuke,
the anime,
was
Right.
for one, it
Let's
wasn't
preface
good.
that.
But they added a
I
bunch
was
of stuff like
disappointed by it.
there was the mechas that were just added in randomly. There was all they didn't even like tell you when the demons got added into the story. It went from like normal stuff. Like I thought it was gonna be a story about a black samurai, and that would carry the story. The history itself could potentially carry the story a far place, but they were like, this isn't good enough. Add in the top, add in the giant bear woman, add in the mechas, add in. I was like, yo, is this like this could have been a good story? And you,
yeah,
I think they use it as a ploy, as he'll is a black samurai. I think that's
he
what
can't carry the story.
they pivoted as to get
And that's
us drawn into
exactly.
it.
I was just gonna say that's exactly why we created what we created, right? It's because shit like that keeps happening. It's the people who are created it aren't black, right? They then grow up struggling to some extent for like they're not the people who are reading the product from when they were 6 or 7 years old, right? Like we grew up fucking reading Zatch Bell, watching Zatch Bell, Naruto, all these anime, so we feel as though we have. And I'm not saying we. I'm talking the general we as like the blurred community, right? Like there's products out there that aren't for us, but we watch it anyway, right? Like name your top 5 animes, and I guarantee you is Naruto. It's something that was made by a man that wasn't a black man. And that's what we're trying to do is just change that narrative is can we have somebody that's black, that's made from a black owned creative, that's a IP that's 150% owned by black people, and they control the content and the world loves it. You know what I mean? And that's what we're trying to get. That's what the world is even asking for it, right? With everyone trying to take, I wouldn't say like, join the niche of black anime and black mangas specifically, but just diversity in general. Everyone has a hunger for it now.
Right.
Because we have a story to tell.
Not even that is just, it's interesting, bro. The same story has been told a million times.
I can't do another like slave movie. Like you think
that's what I'm just about to say, bro. Like,
always
the
a
trauma
slave
bonding,
movie.
bro. I'm over it, dog. I'm sick of being a slave. I'm sick of not being a goddamn superhero, bro. Like, why not? Why not?
So
yeah, I really.
Go ahead. Yeah. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm really tired of one of the things I was thinking about before we even got on this podcast because he told me you guys were coming on, and one of the things that got me kind of frustrated was that whenever there's a black character, it's like he's clearly a black character, right? I don't mean that in the sense of like his skin tone. I mean like he is the token black guy, and he will have a personality that fits the black person. He's never just a guy who is black. It's kind of like what they did with gay characters in the past. Where there was a gay character, he was clearly gay. Like his sexuality was everything. He wasn't just a person who was gay.
He was the gay person.
Man. And I was just like, yo, that's a lot. I don't think it's necessary.
2D,
I was like,
where
you could just
his dimensions are just to be whatever the stereotype is supposed to be.
Yeah. They gotta keep putting it in your face, like, you know, he has sex with men, right? He doesn't have to. That has to be his whole personality, like.
Right.
We get it, bro. Like, you know, there's kind of always been there's one type of black character, and it's kind of across the board. Now, I think there's been a couple anime recently who have kind of changed that up, where you know they add a couple more, but like I think Fire Force is trying to do that. Fire Force is actually taking an initiative to try to add more black characters. I think they have 3. Which is nuts compared to what we've seen in the past. And they're different, which is cool. But for the most part, like, what is it? The My Hero Academia black guy, he's an angry black dude.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
They're
Rock
trying, bro.
Lock.
They're trying. It's like
I
Yeah.
remember I was hyped to see Killer B in Naruto, but then he
And
was
then
like
he start and
rapping
then
and
he
stuff.
starts
Just like,
rapping
God
and
damn
oh
it.
man, I was
Cookie
just about to
cutter,
say
bro.
and then his
Yeah.
older brother is what? The angry black nigga.
The
Like
angry
that's what his
black
older brother was.
Yep.
Now the cool thing was that they did have the other characters to do with the lollipop and shit. And I thought I like that. 'cause
Him
he
and
was
the chick,
chill.
yeah, they were cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He had like anxiety issues and stuff. He's like, I was like, okay, they're trying too. But it's like it took them seasons to add that in there. Like it was a noticeable thing they had to do because all of Naruto, normal Naruto, there was no black people.
Right.
Nope.
Naruto Shippuden
100%.
starts up, I think 2/3 of the way in. They're like, oh yeah, this this village of black people is right over here.
Right.
I'm like, all right,
Let's
I'll
not
take
forget
it.
about them.
Yeah. Telling you,
Hey,
prime example.
For at least wait. So I do want to say something about that because don't get me wrong. Like at least like where I'm not expecting Japanese cultures, that are 100% homogenous to like add different cultures. I am happy that they are starting to do that, and then definitely like happy that like we're starting to get like better representation. But then again, that's why you creators are necessary, so we can tell our own stories the way that we need to, right? So that way,
100%.
we can tell it properly instead of, them who might not see us. Like it's one thing for like white people like here in America, like who aren't even giving us a chance, but they live around us the whole time, right?
Right.
I'm not really expecting it from homogenous cultures that are across the ocean, right? But I did want to ask you guys, I guess, like, so yeah, what's Echo's Chamber's story about? And then also, you guys mentioned that you guys are a publishing house. Do you guys like have other stories to tell, or I guess like other books or publications that you guys are going to be having too? So yeah, multiple questions out there.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeremy. Yeah.
He was waiting on this.
Hey, I'm just saying, no, because when we first started this, it was a really big push from Garrett because me being the artist, I'm seeing it as like, man, this is my baby. I don't know if I want to put this out there, this, that, and the third. But he's like, bruh, we don't know how good we'll be until we try.
Fair.
So at that point, we kind of just started throwing stories into the furnace. So Echo Chamber is just the first polished one, but we definitely have more stories in the chamber after this. Once we're looking to, become bigger, and then after that, the other stories will come. But Echo Chamber is the foot in the door, and what Echo Chamber is about. Oh, that's a loaded one. So the main entity, we're calling it the Malady. And the Malady is an entity that basically reincarnates itself over millennia. We're representing it through what we would call plagues, or every reset of humanity. And the main character JT is pulled in through his sensei Eric Black, and it's just a loaded question. So Garrett, you can jump in and help me out whenever.
Yeah, I'll clean it up for you. But yeah, no, I got you. So Echo Chamber as a whole, the product itself is just about JT's journey dealing with the effects of the malady and how it impacts everyone around him, right, throughout history. So it's this evil entity or ancient force that has always plagued humanity, and we're experiencing a glimpse in time of how it's impacting JT and his family and those around him.
Right.
So it's essentially JT being in an echo chamber, chasing after the malady and discovering more about it, keeping himself and his friends in an echo chamber. So
Is this
it's kind of it's a
present
play
day?
on that.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
multiple layers of a lot of things going on. So the reason we're calling it Echo Chamber, it's just a lot of different elements in the story that constantly regurgitate that information to the reader, that constantly explain what an echo chamber is. And we do that with multitudes of scenarios throughout the comic book, while still, giving that action, giving that story, just like all the pieces are moving and mixing together in a very good manner.
So it starts off almost like protection, like he's trying to protect them in a space from what's about to happen or what is happening, essentially.
Well, it's not. It starts off with JT being protected more so by his sensei. His sensei is the one that's giving him the information. His sensei is the one that's, making sure he himself doesn't get trapped in an echo chamber of like society. Like one thing, like our story takes place 2053, I believe that 2053, 2054. And technology itself has peaked, it's spiked. So one of the ways that JT Sensei is protecting him from falling within an echo chamber is telling him to fall back from technology. Don't let technology control you. You use it to aid your life. Like you're not aiding technology. So he's just constantly teaching him lessons, like normal stuff like fishing, hunting, all that kind of stuff within a futuristic society. So that's how it's, and they're having conversations. He's constantly using those conversations in real life, and it's how he stands out from like the rest of society. Yeah, so it's while giving a lot of action, still putting
it sounds pretty hype. Yeah. And then like what inspired y'all like one in calling it like echo chamber, like going this direction, and then also like what inspired the creation of it, like what even like inspired you guys like making this in the first place?
What inspired us?
Yeah,
like what was like the moment that you guys like were like, we got to make our own thing?
I can handle that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So Garrett and I just grew up. Anime has been a really big part of our childhood. We were growing up in the neighborhood together, and we saw some great ones, and then we saw a lot of bad ones that were still greenlit too.
Right.
So, growing up, we ourselves began saying, man, we can make something better than this. Like, how did this get put on TV? Are you serious? So it was, one day I was wrapping up college, and then Garrett just goes, man, if we're so tired of saying we can make something better, why don't we just do it? I'm like, what?
How long has this journey been so far?
Was it been 2014?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we started like initially planning, like designing characters, the initial concepting, 2014.
Yeah.
And 2020 is when the concept became real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it was like we had a physical project to show for.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
You said y'all wasn't happy with a lot of the bad stuff that got greenlit. What's an example of a couple of bad ones that y'all don't like?
See, I don't believe in bad.
Y'all ain't got to answer that.
No.
Don't go in the anime industry with a target on your back.
No. I was gonna say that's a target to put on our back, but there is no such thing, in my honest opinion, as a bad anime because it made it. Some investors spent $25 million to ship said product, regardless of if it's good or bad. The money got spent.
It's subjective.
That's fair.
100%. So it's like, in my opinion, there's no such thing as a bad anime that's you can view nationwide, right? Like, I personally, I think My Hero started off well, but is it doing well now? I don't think so. You know what I mean? So stuff like that. I'm more of a Samurai Champloo, Brotherhood kind of anime guy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's the frame of reference for. I'm tired of not seeing good anime reference. You know what I mean? Like those are some old classics, and those hit hard. And today's content, you can't necessarily say the same for everything that we're receiving. So that was the biggest push, even back then, 2014, right? I don't know what was coming out necessarily 100%, but I wasn't happy with what I was seeing as a consumer. You know what I mean? Like, we got Attack on Titan, we got the heavy hitters, but I'm talking about the stuff for us. That's what this whole pushes for, right?
Yeah.
The stuff that's designed specifically for our community. Yeah, it's inclusive. Everyone can enjoy it, right? Because it's inclusive. But the shit that's made for us is what we're longing for.
Right.
And then, I guess like also like what inspired you guys like going the manga route instead of like making like anime too? Like, I guess is there like a plan in the future to go make an anime out of this, or like do you guys intend to like do like the manga route like mainly?
No, so it's all to push us towards being on the big screen, right? So Netflix hit us up, Hulu, if y'all watching, you know what I
Right.
mean?
That's
Like,
right. That's
let's
right.
go. But that's the big push. So but the initial business plan, the initial vision is for us to know what it all looks like, right? So for us to know what it all looks like, it's to do it ourselves. So
Right.
we started the publishing company so that we can produce and publish our own mangas, a merry manga, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the whole plan is to hopefully build enough capital or even go to Kickstarter to push for that first pilot episode. So we can go to Netflix and say, yo, we've already done all the legwork, right? We got
Right.
40,000 followers behind us. We got God's will in our corner. You know what I mean? So just give us the money. And that's the goal. That's literally the business plan, is to do it all ourselves, to push for producing that first pilot episode,
Right.
and then securing the angel investors for it.
Okay. I mean, you guys got a plan. Do you guys read other manga, like anything that like inspires you, or anything that you guys like now currently that like maybe that does like give you hope, I guess, for the future?
Attack on Titan for me personally. I think they've done a really good job with that IP personally, and I think they just need more games to make it kind of blow up. Because we got the shitty ass My Hero game, but if they had a couple games like that,
no more
I feel
arena
like
fighters. I'm so tired of no more anime arena fighters. No more.
Yeah, I think arc system works is the way to go.
Yeah,
100%.
And I myself, I don't read much manga because I don't want to like subconsciously put anything into what we got going on. So I literally pull back. I wall myself off from a lot of products out there. So once I come out, or once we like go over everything that we have in the chamber for like storyboarding, it doesn't look like anything else. We're trying to maintain our own
everything
identity.
to be authentic.
That's it. And once we come through with our own style, we want it to be, iconic, noticeable. Like when we drop, we want everybody to go, oh, that's them. Rather than it looking like a slew of everything that's coming out already.
Yeah, I like that. I like that mindset. That's interesting. You guys say a lot of things. I'm always like, that's an interesting take. It's not exactly how I think, but it's like I could see it all working. I can see it all working very well. Right. So it's like I can respect exactly where you guys are coming from. I mean, I'm sure you've thought of this before, but have you not thought that maybe looking at this other manga might give you, might boost your numbers somehow? Like it might give you something that you weren't thinking about, like something that is amazing, and you just put a spin on it somehow.
Yeah, no, Garrett is always shooting me references. He's the eyes.
I was gonna say that's my job. That's my job. I'm the dude that's
I like partnership idea. Okay,
100%.
Like who got the hottest shit out there?
He's scoping 24/7, and when he sees something that's like, I think this can help, he'll definitely like shoot it my way, and I glance over it, and I'm like, yeah, no, that did help. When it comes to like character poses or action shots or the way that they set up a scene, anything he feels that can help, he'll shoot it my way. So it's I'm not completely 100% walled off. He's the one that gets through to me. Like when I'm like, the world is cut off, and Gary's just
that's
like,
perfect. That's a good balance. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, he
it's
keeps
definitely one of those things where it's like, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. That was it.
No, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, in my experience, I'm just like, especially when you think about athletics or anything like that, like you could become a great basketball player, but it'd be so much easier if you watched film on Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean?
Right.
You could take a little bit.
Right.
It's like, what's his name? Allen Iverson's still Allen Iverson, but he definitely watched film on the other greats. You know what I mean? 100%. And then other kids end up watching him, and they end up putting their own spin on things. They're all different.
Right.
Yeah. Kobe studied the fuck out of MJ. Yeah.
Right. And you got to learn the industry, right? Honestly. Yes. And it's not, I don't like the creative process that we go through. Like Jeremy's not necessarily 100% like, oh, I'm not watching anime, I'm not reading,
Right.
you know what I mean? But the main draw to that approach is to make sure we're not stealing, to make sure we're not taking content. Oh, my hero did this with Whiplash, bro, so we need to make sure JT got Whiplash, you know what I mean? And it's like, no, the fuck you don't, you know what I mean? Because that's what people would, that it would, you would be compelled to do so. But if you're a good writer, a good artist, even, you can take from it and then apply it the way you want it to work and however you want it to work, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what we do. Even for myself, it's like, oh, okay, let's say like even Pokemon Unite, bro, you know what I mean? Like they're dropping fucking whatever the hell they're dropping, and if it's something that inspires me, then I think it'll be beneficial to a scene or an episode that we have written. I'll be like, yo, dude, this looks exactly how I wrote it. This is exactly what I would want it to look like, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, he gets it, he's like, I can do that, but I'm gonna make it look like however I want it to look. And it's like, that's why you're on the fucking team. You know what I mean?
and
because that's
deliver.
the way it should be. I want it to look like this, but I want it to look like yo fucking drawings did it. It's that simple.
And we deliver on both ends, and we've been able to communicate and constantly, feed each other with that inspiration. So,
Is
I like it.
the manga, so on your website, you're now on book 3. How many books total is there? Do you have it like completely finished in your head? Are you completing it as you go?
Yeah. So we've storyboarded 2 seasons pretty much.
Yep.
So
is that books?
Think of one book or 12 books into one season, right? This typical anime, or if you go 12 to 24 format, whichever one they pick, right? So we're following the same thing. We're dropping books, 12 books. That'll be the whole collection or the entirety of season 1 for the most part.
Yeah.
And then we'll drop another set of 12 books, and that'll be season 2. We have 5 seasons planned.
All right.
Two, I'd say 2. I'll just straight up say it. 2 seasons are written up, and everything else is in my head.
Yep.
Okay.
Constant communication throughout the days. Whenever a new idea pops up, merging it into the master timeline we have set up, and it's constant conversations.
Master timeline.
That's it. Come on now. Yeah,
Universe just bless us. Like,
that's right.
Yeah, man.
It's a lot of those aha moments.
I myself, so I know a lot of people have their own kind of critique of how they judge an anime, like it has to have this or has to have this. For mine, a lot of my top favorite animes, for example, like Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho, they have tournament arcs, and those are like the highlights. Do y'all have a tournament arc?
Season 3, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
I'm asking too many questions. Y'all already. Are you putting us on blast?
Can I pause right here? Can I pause right? Can I put a bookmark right here?
Right.
I want to take it back because I heard Delmar say something I don't agree with. Did you say the Hunter x Hunter tournament arc was the highlight of that show?
It was one of my highlights when they were in the tower.
Who else agrees with the Hunter x Hunter tournament arc?
Like the beginning, right?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite
fights. Like the whole versus Ahsoka is one of the best fights to me.
I'm for the Chimera Ant arc. That one fight with Ahsoka beat the Chimera Ant arc.
No. I'm talking about just that fight. I'm talking about just that fight in general. The Chimera Ant arc.
This podcast off, bro. Okay, we're good.
Is one of the greatest arcs. No. So I'm with you. The Chimera Ant arc is one of the greatest arcs to me, right? But I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for tournament arcs. Like Yu Yu Hakusho's Dark Tournament, amazing.
That was
solid.
I enjoyed the Hunter x Hunter tournament arc. Like I like tournaments. Even Fairy Tail is but their tournament was okay after the time skip. Yeah, there's no time skip, is there? Please don't do no time skip.
They're so early on. What are y'all? 36 episodes or roughly 36 in, right? Yeah, there's no way they got a time skip at 36 episodes.
No, we're not. Yeah, no, we're not planning a time skip. We thought about it. I'll just say that shit. But ultimately, it was like everyone's doing it, right? Like, shipping it, Naruto to shipping it. You know what I mean? So it was like, fuck it. Let's keep them the same age, but let's just follow them through this year. You know what I
I mean,
mean? That's
I'm cool with
that's
like
kind of the
people
approach.
growing up as it goes on, but the whole like, okay, we were 16, now we're back, we're 26. Like, wait, what? Or everybody is the
I
same
mean,
age, and then
yeah,
the
it sounds like you
world.
guys got ideas to like to stay away from tropes, right? So that way
Yeah,
you guys
we're
aren't.
purposely not trying to fall into any of the tropes.
Yeah,
right?
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
everybody
feel like the
you go.
time
is doing
skip.
that.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was like, I feel like, and I'm not a writer, but it's like I feel like when I'm normally seeing a time skip, it's like it's being used as a plot device to power up the characters in a short amount of time, so they can be like, look how much cool. Like it's almost as if they, not that they ran out of ideas, but they want to reinvigorate the comic or the manga, whatever it might be.
Yeah, the power scale
Yeah.
is what it is. That's the
Yeah.
exact reason that it's there for that exact reason, is to show the difference in power scale. Is in season 1 Naruto couldn't Rasengan, but then season 2 the nigga can Rasengan. Bro, you know what I mean? It's like it's
And now
one
it's
of those
huge.
basic things.
And now,
like exactly.
you know, in Shippuden, there's like 1,000 Rasengans.
Yeah, or the characters that you get to develop, you get to draw, you know, because like I think just aesthetically, like you played video games before. I'm sure like when you switch your outfit every once in a while, you're just like, yo, this feels better. Just me switching my outfit, and then you feel like playing this game again.
Different
I feel
color,
cool as
right?
shit now.
Yeah,
The old
like,
Street Fighters is like, if I get the dark purple, that's the better Ryu than the
That's
the
it.
I
white.
was gonna say, bro.
and that reinvigorates. So I'm thinking for you guys, it's like it's one of those things where it's like, would you guys ever think of it in that sense? Like if your manga takes off and does great numbers, or we'll say your show, down the road, would you ever be like, hey, season's ending, but let me make sure everyone's like on the edge of their seats. Let me tell them, like, let me foreshadow a time skip coming, kind of like what One Piece did.
Hell
When
no.
they were like, when they before they got teleported, you knew they were
He
going.
said,
Like,
"Hell
dead?
no!" He shut that shit down quick.
I'm telling you right now, what's coming? If it, like, I don't want to get ahead of myself, right?
No spoilers. No
But
spoilers.
anything that's coming after Echo Chamber is gonna be a prequel or a new IP. I'll just drop that one.
I'm cool with
There you
that.
go.
That's cool, exactly, because you can't be mad at that.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's good to
Well,
hear.
it
you
be
guys say
Last
like-
forever, bro.
Will it be in the for your prequels or your new IPs? Would it be like the same universe or different?
We're playing
in its
around with that
own-
idea, like you know how like Marvel kind of everything's in the Marvel universe, right? And it's all the same in World 1. We're playing around with that idea, but it's borderline tropey for 2022. Let's just say that, right?
Yeah.
So yes and no. I don't
I'm
like
interested to
the
see how you guys are
idea.
gonna innovate. Like I feel like it's, you know, like I do want to ask like things, but at the same time, it's like I'm hoping that it's not going to be like something we've already seen, even though those things that we've seen now, you know, MCU stuff or tournament stuff, innovative when they came out, probably not innovative now, right?
Exactly. That's exactly the whole point. It's like it's the challenge for both of us as writing on this, or that's what has come up, is like thinking of something new, right? Like the idea of something new, genuinely, if you really think about it, doesn't exist. But
because everything's already been done before.
Everything has been done to some extent, to some concept, some theory, whatever the hell.
new thing is on the way. Yeah.
And it's on its way, exactly. But we can always spin those ideas to create a new experience around that idea, right? So like there's nothing new about Naruto, right? But for the millennial generation, it's god tier, right? And let's to some people, I'll just say to some people, right?
Like I wouldn't say like it's not. Yeah, it's definitely not new because it's old. But it was innovative when it came out. Yeah,
when it came
set
out,
the pace. Yeah, exactly.
It really
even
did.
Even for the West, right? For when we received it.
Because we got to give the American version a catchphrase.
Please no. But
I think it's. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, it's just that's all we're really trying to do. We're trying to just spin it our own way. Once again, to that word again, relatable. Trying to make a story that's not necessarily using all the tropey stuff, but reintroducing it in a genuine way. So that's what we're really trying to do.
You made your job harder, and I'm not mad at you. Like I think it's cool. Like I admire the initiative to like take the hard route, because
I think it's gonna provide a better product instead of taking the easy way.
I always think about when working on the show and writing, it's like, what is the reader, like that little 12-year-old nerd, that's black nerd, mind you, that's reading the manga when it's physical, and what he's going through in his brain, right? Because I was there at one point. So that's where I'm always thinking, like when that person, he, she, whatever the hell, because whatever, they're reading the book. You know, you know what I mean? They're reading the book. I want them to have that experience of like, not only is this relatable, but I'm inspired because of this shit, right?
There you go.
We got inspired because like anyone that grew up drawing and illustration, story writing, whatever the hell, right? They put themselves in those stories.
Right.
Goku has been black. Goku has been Indian. Goku has been Asian. You know what I mean? Like Goku, everyone has made him the way that they see that character, and that's what we want to do. Is for someone to identify and be like, JT looks like me, right? I'm JT. Oh, and I flip the book around and look at these black creators. Oh shit! Now I want to go and do this myself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's supposed to be all full circle ultimately.
Yeah, and I can even expand on that. Like I've been drawing JT since like early elementary, and JT has been within every single show, video game that I have grown up loving. Like JT has been a Super Saiyan. JT has been, a Sonic character in Legend of Zelda stories. Like he's just popped up everywhere that I connected to. So at that point, when we really started this journey, Garrett pushed me to say, let's reinvent him to where once we really put our stuff out there, other people will want to put themselves in our story. So that was like that full circle.
I definitely feel you on that. I definitely remember being a kid and like, I think one of the big ones for me was Samurai Champloo. Like,
oh yeah,
that Mugen in the background, man. That was heat. As a kid, I was like, that's the closest thing. No, in my head, it was 2007. I remember being in the computer lab and I found out that thing existed. I started learning how to use the internet correctly.
Right.
And I remember just being like, that's the closest thing we're gonna get. And I was excited.
Is he black?
Yeah, right.
That question was the biggest search. Is Mugen black?
Is racially ambiguous.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably just a dark Asian, but it's like Asian, I was cool.
Yeah. He's dark. No, but we took it as like, yo, we finally being represented. You know what I mean?
There is in the islands he's from. I would have to search this again, but in the islands he's from, I believe there is a group of black Asian people.
Yeah.
Like they have hair like that is black essentially, but they're Asian. It was pretty cool because he's from those little islands off the coast of Japan.
Ryukyu Islands.
There
Please
we go.
explain black hair to me. What do you elaborate on?
Man, I wish I could elaborate myself, bro.
Please elaborate on that one for me, sir. I can't tell.
I gotta do it for people who ain't here. I gotta tell them. But no, I was like, that's the closest thing we were gonna get for a while. And I think he made another anime. What was it called? God's Will. Not Space Dandy. The one after that.
Cowboy Bebop? Or are you talking about?
Bebop was before.
Yeah,
Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Space Dandy, and then he had Hachiko no.
Michiko and Hatchin.
Michiko, yeah.
Michiko and Hatchin. There it is.
Yeah.
And that has a lot.
That was Brazil. Yeah, that was based in Brazil.
That was in Brazil. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like South.
I appreciate
South America. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I do want to give the creators some props because don't get me wrong, it's like they have a lot of work to do, but they're doing better. Like I love how you brought up like earlier. In Fire Force, the black guy is Nigerian, and they bring up Yoruba tropes of sorts, I guess, not tropes, but like Yoruba symbols in like how he fights, and I thought that was pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, we really do need like black creators to be able to tell our stories better. But yeah, like it's at the same time things are getting better. No longer do we have the Mr. Popos 100%. As the standards, right?
Oh man,
I wouldn't even call Mr. Popo. I would go with Trigger.
At least
I'm Trigger right now.
I'm gonna make y'all feel a little bit better. I'm trying to make y'all feel a little better. So there is. I found this out somewhat recently. Cause I went through a local worm, a YouTube wormhole. I was learning about spirits, and there is actually a spirit that looks like Mr. Popo naturally. Like there's a spirit thing. It's just like a completely black. I can't remember what they do.
Yeah, they're Jin. I don't think Mr. Popo was supposed to be black. Like at least I don't think any of us ever thought.
The black guy.
I mean, they did have black people like in. I remember like in Dragon Ball, although his name was I think Commander Black. I'm not sure.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
But he was an actual black guy, although he was big lips type of guy, right?
Right.
But
Come on now.
yeah, his name's Officer
I'm looking
Black.
at him. He is dark
he's
with
black.
big purple pink lips.
Yeah, Officer Black.
Really?
Snap
He
off
said
the
real
black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Man.
But he was
Piccolo
at least a
was
cool
the close
guy.
to a black guy they were gonna give us.
Yeah.
I think he was supposed to fulfill that niche without making an actual black character, because like Hachiku, the show you were just talking about.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I keep
Michiko
forgetting
and
the name.
Hatchin.
That show, of the of the four things he has, that one got the least amount of like press that I'm aware of, right?
Mhm.
And it stars black people for the most part.
Mm.
So it's kind of like
I wonder why, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, actually, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of people like slept on that. Like, they just haven't heard about it, unfortunately.
I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, like it's a banger show. Like if you've seen that movie, City of God, or is it City of God? But like it's like a Brazilian movie. Like, and a lot of it is like based off of it. And this movie it actually came out in 2008. So yeah, people just slept on it. But yeah, they actually have black people in this show.
So I want to ask you. You said you've been drawing JT since you was a kid.
Mhm.
What made you lean towards him having locks? Like I know his master has locks. Did he get with the master and the master he like got that from his master? Or was he already doing that himself?
Oh no, you see a young JT in the comic, and he definitely has a fro.
Yeah.
But he says himself in the manga that he's paying respect to his sensei, and that's why he locked his hair. Initial reason why he has locks is that guy sitting in the chair. it's him.
I'm gonna turn my camera
Put yourself,
off.
put yourself on. Yeah.
that's live. That's live.
Nah, but at that point, it's he pays respect to his sensei, and that's the reason he does get locks. But it's also a more relatable hairstyle.
That's great. So you've been drawing your friend, and you were aware of this for years.
No,
that's a lot of respect, because I would never draw guys with it. You know what I mean?
Good thing you can't draw.
But no, I've been doing comics like since like childhood, man. This story has been in the works for a very long time. Just drawing comics as a kid, and then eventually, just getting that push from Garrett, like telling you, man, that he's a real big reason why this is here.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, man.
Tell us more about. So you got JT and you have Eric, the master.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us more about Sapphire. Is this an otter?
Yeah. Sapphire is that's that appeal, man. There's always an animal companion.
Right.
And my favorite animal is an otter.
Okay.
So I thought, I was like, this is a great way to plug this in, as well as it's the whole dynamic of our story is set in the future. So there's so much technology going around. JT himself sticks out like a sore thumb because there's an otter with him. So and everybody's like looking like, what is going on with this kid? Like, he's sitting on the train with an otter, or he's like walking down the street. So Sapphire is a way for the readers to understand society around JT. Because if you read, you read the manga, you'll see like thought bubbles everywhere around people in the public responding to, him walking around in public. And Sapphire is very animated. So, she's always on his shoulder, the whole Ash Pikachu vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, very animated, moving around, and JT's just real calm, not really paying her much attention. He just knows that she's going to be doing a lot of movement. But it does give the reader an opportunity to see how the public is responding to, you know, such an odd pair, and it's cute.
Right. I mean, I can see like if this thing does blow up, and that could be like the plushie, or that could be like the.
Yeah, you come on now.
I'm not stopping until we get sapphire plushies, bro.
Merchandise.
That's gonna be it.
That's
I'm
good
sorry.
idea, honestly.
Sapphire plushies, a little hang from the hip. That's it.
You always need it, man. Like that character is important. People don't understand. Like merchandise wise, those characters are
Come
important.
on now.
100%.
And I
And it
will
was a
say,
swing. It was a swing, but it worked.
about halfway, or let me see, halfway. I'm pretty a good chunk into. I was reading book 2, and don't want to speak or spoil anything because.
Okay, good.
But I like the artwork. I like the direction. Fuck, no, I can't say that either. Let's see.
Right.
Bro,
I don't want to spoil nothing.
just talk to us. Ask questions. I want it. Yeah, I want the questions. It doesn't matter, bro. I don't care.
Hey, well, if we can't talk about it too much, that's all right. You know, although, where can people read this? Where can people find out more about Echo Chamber?
Definitely on our website, echochamberprod.com is the main source. But we're on Comixology, Amazon, wherever you're reading your mangas, you can find us. Those are 2 main sources.
Absolutely.
Dope.
And when you're searching, type in Echo Chamber manga. You know, typing in just Echo Chamber will give you a slew of other things. So, just like search support Echo Chamber manga, and all the books come up. You'll see it.
Dope.
Now, the books are going to be black and white, or is it going to be fully colored?
Those are going to be black and white.
Black and white. You know, the traditional
manga style.
Manga, I think, is, you know, you stick with no color.
Right.
Yeah,
and then every so now and then you'll have that one page, like in the page break, you did have like one color section. Which
it's like a commercial break.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, splash
intermission page.
There you go. And, you know, front cover, back cover, splash
nice.
pages.
They're so
That's where
time
you get your color.
consuming, you know? Like if you were to color your whole manga, that's a whole
that's a lot of money.
Cycle added to your production.
It's not a manga anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a manga anymore. That's a graphic
novel.
novel.
You got a comic book.
Right, a webtoon.
Webtoon graphic novel. It's not a manga anymore.
Can you tell me a little bit more about how you said, you know, you want to have a different component of this is, I experienced this, or, you know, not every Black child went without like a loving parent, right? But you have this lady named Tanya, JT's mother.
Yep.
What is that?
His mother.
What is she? What's her backstory? What's the inspiration behind her?
My mother.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? My mother is the complete inspiration for that character. And, you know, like I said, I've been drawing JT. I've been living vicariously through JT. Like my entire life, you know, any phase that I ever went through, JT was that phase. And at that point, giving him a mother, my mother, you know, so that relationship, the conversation, it just flows like how I talk to my mother, how we talk to each other. And, you know, JT being in high school, those are the types of conversations I had with my mom in the morning, you know, before going to school. So that's that, you know, once again, that layer of being relatable. Like, you know, Black kids will pick this up and just be like, yep, that's exactly what it is. That's my mom. Yep, she's, you know, talking with me. She drinking her coffee. You know, she cooking in the morning. And, you know, at one point in book 1, JT's like stuffing his face, eating real fast. She comes up behind him like, "What'd I say about stuffing your mouth?" You know, like, you're eating too fast. What did I say about that? And at that point, JT is just like terrified. Like, you know, even though he's 18 at the time, mom still scares you at that age.
Right.
So,
still to this day.
Come on now.
No matter how old you are, your mom.
Exactly.
I still don't cuss in front of my parents, man.
Right.
I guess I'll try to. I got like one more question, I guess, to end it off. I guess we got to dip out of here in a second. But would you said that JT is kind of like an expression of yourself. So would you say that over the last, you know, however many years you've been around, like you've been using him to almost like an outlet to express yourself. Well, I see a lot of things in the manga of experiences you might have had through high school or things like that. Translated. That's interesting.
He's been like a vessel, more so like a mode of protection, really. You know, for me, kept me out of trouble, kept me on the right path. You know, at that point, you know, instead of actually doing these things, Jeremy, just draw about it. That's it. You know, like keep myself out of trouble. JT saved me at that point.
Right. Yo, therapy. Very nice.
Come on now. Come on now.
Artistic therapy, man.
You know, and now we're just giving JT his own story.
I like that. Yeah, I'm excited to see more about this story as we keep on going and to hear more from you guys as you guys keep on growing, you know? Like, it's really exciting to see creators doing their thing and to follow through with it. And we're rooting for you guys, like, as you guys make more of this. And thank you guys so much for being on the show. Like, it really means a ton that you guys spend time and that you guys like have so much to offer the community really with this, you know, to offer the world, I would say, not even the community. Like, it's supposed to be something that like everybody can really enjoy and like see themselves in, right?
Right. Yeah, and I'd say thank you for giving us the opportunity to be on this platform, right? And just getting people in our pockets that support the project is going to do waves. It's going to make waves for when the time comes, right? Because everything now is just setting up for the future. And we're just trying to make sure it's a good one.
That's what's up.
Yo, so if you want to support them, where can they go to find your stuff and order it even now?
EchoChamberProd.com is our website. We're Echo Chamber Prod on Instagram, I believe also on Facebook, and then EchoChamber_PRD for Twitter, just for information about us. But if you want to buy, for sure, go to our website and just hit us up on Amazon or Comixology. Echo Chamber, the American manga.
We'll make sure we put all the links into the bio.
Absolutely.
Man.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
But anything else that I want to leave with us though?
Physical copies coming this year, or maybe the start of 2023. So we're gonna put books 1, 2, and 3 into one volume.
Yeah.
So it'll be a hefty read for the people who prefer physical over digital.
Right.
Something you can just put on your shelf and show off, like I got it.
That's right.
Yeah, bro. Barnes and Noble, bro.
That's a big step, man. People sleep on Barnes and Noble.
Exactly.
And each
shelf
book
place is competitive.
You know, each book is a pretty hefty read. You know, every time we drop, we're giving like 90 to 100.
It's a good size because I hate.
It's a good size.
$10,
you know, like
dollars for
we're
like
not going to give you
40 page. I'm just like, oh, I'm already done.
Right. You know, you're paying $10. You're getting a very hefty read. You know, read through a couple times, digestible. You know, and at that point, the cliffhangers mean a whole lot more.
Right.
So,
I'm excited to see it.
That's what's up. Thank you guys so much. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Absolutely. And anything that Delmar or Josh want to say to close things off?
Josh?
No, man, I appreciate having you guys. Jeremy, Nix, it was cool meeting you guys. Both of y'all seem like genuine people. So I vibe with you already. Like I love y'all. Straight up.
There we go.
I hope this shit takes off, man. I really hope this stuff takes off for you. You guys have a plan. I mean, I appreciate the hell out of that.
Yeah.
This isn't like I'm just writing it as I go. You already like you said, you had 2 books already in the bag.
Seasons.
You already moving.
Yeah,
you got ideas for days, Jeremy. So I love the way your mind works, man.
Hey, man, appreciate it.
Good luck, man.
Yeah,
thank
absolutely.
you guys.
No, I'm glad to have y'all. I saw the product and I was just like, yeah, we should have these guys on, and I'm glad that I'm excited to see where it's going. Even before that, I'm excited that y'all took it serious with the whole promo package, and y'all was already like on top of it when I brought this up to y'all.
Fix your tie, brother.
Yeah, my imaginary tie,
right, bro. Like it's good to see not even just professional Black people, right? Just professional itself to come correct and ready to show off what you already have. So I appreciate it, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you guys, and we're trying to put that black excellence first, right?
That's right.
What was the thing you say? Black.
Don't you dare. Goodbye. It was nice meeting you guys, Willie, Josh.
Thank you guys so much. And everybody listening, definitely appreciate y'all. As always, stay dope, folks. Peace.
Thank you.